Part 3. My girlfriend used my money to transform her body, then dumped me saying I wasn't attractive enough for her anymore, so I cut her off completely and watched her lose everything she gained. I was completely wrong about that assumption. Within 2 hours of posting the photo, I received a lengthy message from Victoria. She said she couldn't believe I was already seeing someone else when she'd been trying to repair things between us. She said it was obvious I'd never truly loved her if I could move on so quickly. She called Rachel plain and said I was clearly dating someone beneath my level because I was intimidated by confident, fit women like herself. The message was unhinged and cruel. I blocked that number immediately. But then Victoria started messaging me from other numbers and fake social media accounts. She sent me paragraphs about how Rachel would never satisfy me the way she had. She said I'd eventually realize what I was missing and come begging for her back. She claimed Rachel was probably only interested in me for my money, unlike Victoria, who genuinely loved me for who I was. The irony of that statement wasn't lost on me. Rachel saw some of the messages before I could block all the accounts. She was understandably disturbed and worried. I explained the entire situation with Victoria, including how the relationship ended and how Victoria had been struggling since leaving. Rachel was understanding, but said she didn't want to deal with psycho ex-girlfriend drama. I assured her I'd handle it and ensure Victoria left us alone. I decided to contact Victoria's friend she'd been living with. I found her on social media and sent a polite message asking her to tell Victoria to stop contacting me or I'd have to involve the police for harassment. The friend responded surprisingly fast. She informed me that Victoria had actually moved out of her apartment 3 months ago because they were having conflicts about Victoria's habits and inability to consistently pay her share of expenses. The friend said Victoria had been spiraling badly. She'd stopped attending the gym almost completely because she couldn't afford it and had lost motivation. She was eating fast food regularly because it was inexpensive and convenient. She'd regained most of the weight she'd lost, possibly 45 to 50 pounds. She was severely depressed about it and spent most of her time scrolling through old photos from when she was in competition shape. The friend also revealed that Victoria had become obsessed with getting back together with me. She talked about me constantly, saying she needed to fix our relationship so she could get her life back on track. The friend had tried telling Victoria she needed to work on herself and not depend on a man for her happiness or success, but Victoria refused to listen. The friend said she eventually asked Victoria to leave because the situation became too toxic and Victoria wasn't paying rent consistently. I learned from this friend that Victoria had moved back in with her parents. She was apparently too embarrassed to tell anyone because she was nearly 30 years old and felt like a complete failure for having to live at home again. Her parents were supportive but frustrated because Victoria had been doing so well when she was with me and now she was right back where she started. Armed with this information, I sent Victoria one final message. I told her that I knew she was going through a difficult period, but that didn't give her the right to harass me or my girlfriend. I said she needed to respect my boundaries and move forward with her life. I explained that I wouldn't be reconciling with her under any circumstances and that continuing to contact me would only make everything worse. I also said that if she contacted me or Rachel again, I'd file a restraining order. Victoria responded with a lengthy message that was part apologetic and part desperate. She said she knew she'd messed up badly and was trying to rebuild her life. She admitted she'd regained all the weight she'd lost and felt hopeless about ever getting fit again. She said the only time she'd been successful was when she had my support and resources. She actually asked if I'd consider resuming financial support for her fitness journey, even if we weren't together romantically. She said she'd repay me eventually once she got back on her feet. I didn't respond to that message. Instead, I blocked every possible method she could use to contact me and told Rachel to do the same. I also told several mutual friends to stop